Hi, everybody. In these uncertain times when we're dealing with these viruses and self-isolation and quarantines, is your estate plan in order? Have you been thinking about it? I was really going to talk about this about a month ago, and I never got around to it. And it's a subject that really just weighs heavily with me. When I was young, a little girl, my parents were just so open with everything. They had their wills prepared, they were organized, they showed us where everything was just in case of an emergency, maybe because they were a little older, although in retrospect, they weren't any older than I was with my kids, but at the time they seemed older. And I was never afraid of that. So I've always been really up to date and current on getting my wills, my durable healthcare proxy, everything organized so that my children won't have any problems if something happens to me. But I know that that's an issue with a lot of people. I have friends with young children, and they postponed getting their will in order for one reason. They didn't know who to name the guardians of their children. And so they didn't have a will. And to me, that's crazy. You have to put everything in order. You have to get it down on paper. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what I think you need. You need to get your will organized. If you have young children, you have to remember to pick the right person that's going to be able to take care of them if, God forbid, something happens to you and your partner. You need to have your financial documents in order so that they're well taken care of, and pick the right person to be in charge to handle the money for them if you have everything in trust. And that's really the best way to go. And then picking the executor. So I've worked with clients where the executors had no financial acumen, which was good for our business. I forgot to tell you, I'm Judy Heft, and I'm a financial concierge, and we do bookkeeping and bill pay for high net worth individuals. And that's why I see so much of this. I'm not an attorney, but I work with a lot of attorneys. So one of the things that you need to remember is picking the right executor, picking someone that has good financial common sense, that can handle the pressures of being the executor and distributing the assets to your loved ones and to whoever else you leave everything to. So that's really important. So a healthcare proxy is something that you have to do too, because if something happens and you become incapacitated, you want to pick the right person to be your healthcare proxy, to make those decisions for you, those medical decisions that you need, whether you want to be on life support or you don't want to be on life support, whatever your wishes are, you have to have that in writing, because if it's not, the doctors and the hospitals won't listen to anybody else. And if you're not capable of making those decisions, then you're in trouble. So I just want to do this as a little public service announcement. And the other thing I wanted to say too, so I always have my will in order because that's the way I was raised and I thought it was the right thing to do. But I wanted to redo my will a few months ago. And when I looked back, I realized that I hadn't done my will in over 10 years. My kids were still minors at the time. Now they're married with their own children. So I just forgot about it. I thought it was in order. So don't forget about important things because it can really be dangerous. And I'm not saying that this is a scary time out there, but we need to have everything in order, and it's an important thing to do. So I'm Judy Heft at judithheft.com. I'd like to hear your comments below. So what you do, if you have your will in order, when was the last time you did your will? Or if you need any help, I can recommend a trust and estates attorney in Connecticut and New York. I work with a lot of them. So thanks for listening.